Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast, it's the Formula One podcast, Straight to the Apex. Join Mark, Tony and James talking more Formula One. We've got the race that was and the race that is still to come to talk, and all the Formula One news, and I imagine there's probably going to be a quiz. These boys love a quiz. Before we get started, do please consider like, share, subscribe and comment. And if you have a spare minute, please drop us a review wherever you get your podcasts. Right, let's get started. So here we go. This is CookieCast, Straight to the Apex.
I'd like to.
This meeting is being recorded.
Why do you always do that, James? James always smiles just about before I'm going to say anything, and I just start laughing every time.
Sorry, James, for being so happy.
I know. So there's some things in life that I do like, Tony. There isn't many, but this is one of them. All right.
Okay. Well,
no, because you get stuck where you're shitting yourself.
Do you want to start again? No, I don't want to start again. This is a podcast.
Say hi to the fans. All four of them.
Good evening, fans, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tony, and I'm your host today. Some may know me as T-Dog, and I'm your resident gangster.
Oh, wow.
I'm joined today by Little Mr. Know-It-All, Mark Wilkin.
Hello.
And the sexiest man on the podcast, James. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Welcome back.
I know you get like a really cool nickname and all this, and I just get James. I got sexy. I'll take that, but James.
What do you want? Well, what do you want? A nickname, James?
Sexy. He's got it, hasn't he?
That's not really a nickname, though, is it? It's just
Sexy
my name.
J.
Is it fact? Is that what you're saying? It's fact. That's all it is.
Hey, you
Sexy
got this
J.
package?
Sexy J. I like Sexy J. Sexy
Everyone
J,
likes a bit
T-Dog, and Mark. Yeah, that's great. Anyway, let's move on. Thanks to CookieCast and Andy. Subscribe, comment, share, like. First 100 subscribers get an Alexa Bliss Funko. Hey, subscribe and you'll find out. That's all I can say.
I got one of them.
You've got one?
She don't turn the lights on or anything. It's not a smart speaker. I know, right?
I don't want to be a know-it-all again. You know, I'm just going to say.
Oh, what is it, Mark? Bet Mark knows what it is.
It's a Funko Pop character, yeah. Anyway, we did that last week. Crack on, let's go.
I think, this is episode 7, Straight to the Apex. Circuit de Monaco in Monte Carlo. Wow. What a weekend. I've got another Monaco Ball Fest, strategy battle, Ferrari strategy circus, redemption for Checo. To summarise, it was utter chaos. And if that's the last one, so be it. What was your thoughts, guys?
I actually thought he was going to say something else, and when he went, it was utter. I was waiting for you to just go and say, shit.
No, I was waiting for him to say it was really good because he was a fan of it. Remember the glitz, the glamour. What did he say? Oh, it's fantastic. I love it. It was fucking boring.
I think he used the word prestigious about 3 times in one sentence, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So what did you think? You know, fan of the race.
The racing was fucking boring. The weekend itself, boring. It rained, which is never a fantastic way. Well, in racing terms, when it rains, it's good. which made the start of the race actually quite exciting.
Well,
but once the rain dried out, when it did start, like when they actually
that whole thing was confusing. That
if they was allowed to race in the rain anymore, I mean, I don't think they're allowed to get the cars or the drivers wet now, are they, for health and safety? It was ridiculous.
Well, reading around the subject, was it the rain? Supposedly, there was a power disruption to the start lights and critical areas of race control.
I was going to say, I know that's why they went for the rolling start rather than the standard kind of starting grid and everything else like that, because they just didn't know if the lights were going to work. But
then it rained harder, and then it was just a waiting game. Boring. Everybody was thinking, what's going on? Even the drivers. They were interviewing Horner just to try and get some content, keep viewers interested, and they were interested because he was just talking utter shit as usual. Where else did they go? Ted was in on the act, but he was getting soaked. It was just... And then eventually it got going, and it was quite exciting. On edge for like the first few laps, just wondering, is somebody just going to absolutely spin off and obliterate themselves into the barrier? But they didn't.
Whoa. They did. Latifi and Stroll hit the barrier.
Eventually.
You're missing two people.
Yeah, but eventually they did.
Oh, all right, okay. Yeah.
Eventually they did.
Eventually, Latifi did it with the safety car.
I was going to get on that. I mean,
if we're saying eventually, as in he managed 3 corners and then crashed, then yeah, eventually. But
really, guys, good. I was talking about the actual series racing, like racing laps. Obviously, you can imagine the caliber of driver that crashes on a formation lap behind a safety car, is all I can say. And when he hit the barrier, oh my God, I have never laughed so hard for fucking ages. Oh, fucking hell. The camera just cut to him, and I was like, who's that? Latifi. And then straight on the commentary was, Latifi's hit the barrier. And I'm like, what the fuck? For fuck's sake. For fuck's sake. And then it was like immediately after, and Stroll's nicked it as well. I was like, fucking hell, what the fuck? Fuck's sake. But Stroll gave us the best on-board reaction I have ever had in my entire life. If you follow our Instagram and our socials, you'll have seen I posted it a lot. Oh, it was fucking ace when he didn't get into Q2. Oh my God. Did you hear it? Did you hear it?
No, what did he say?
You're joking.
No.
They was like, it was like, Lance, you Q1, and he just went, fuck.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell, I wet myself. It was so good. But anyway, less of that. What did you think? What did you think to the fiasco at the start?
Are we going straight to the race, are we? We're not doing qualifying.
Well, no.
Just quickly breeze through qualifying.
Give me your thoughts in a nutshell of the weekend, and then we'll move on to practice.
All right. In a nutshell, absolute what we expected. Cars were too big. Cars were too heavy. It summed it up when Hamilton couldn't overtake either of the Alpines because the cars are just too big now. You can't. I mean, Gasly did well to overtake, but his tyres were a lot better. I think it was on dry tyres or intermediates, but the track's just too narrow. There's no straight, so DRS just doesn't work. It's. I think this is the end of the road for Monaco, unless they change it. I think Brundle said, "Why don't they do a time trial?"
Interesting.
I think as a race, They don't pay. They don't pay to the FIA. They don't pay Formula One. It's all subsidised. It's
wow, that's crazy. Didn't know that.
And also, did you see about the watch sponsor? What they were moaning about?
I was going to say the Rolex.
Rolex, because Tag Heuer is the official sponsor, but then Monaco sell their own advertising, and they've got Rolex plastered all over, which they said obviously they're not very happy about because Tag Heuer pay a lot of money to be the official one. So we've got away with it for far too long. Like Tony said, prestigious. Everyone believes that hype. Been it now. Never liked it. Hate it when I play it on the game. I always simulate it. It's awful. Hate it. And then what compounded it was about 2 hours longer, wasn't it? Because of the rain.
That's very true. It was very, very annoying. Very annoying. It got to a point where everyone was pissed. Everyone was pissed.
Yeah. The only thing I got out of it was pretty much everything we said in last week's podcast came through. We said there won't be any overtaking. It'll all come down to the pit stops. There'll be plenty of crashes, and it's boring. I mean, as soon as I just got rid of how many laps there was left, and it just went to a timer just counting down, I was just like, oh, thank God for that.
Yeah, but don't you think that's
and I love watching Formula One.
That 33 minutes seemed to take forever. I was watching it later on the night, and I was thinking, Jesus, when's it going to end? This is the longest half hour, because obviously the top four were all together, but they weren't doing anything. It was just, I mean, it sent you to sleep. It was like counting sheep, wasn't it? 33, 32.
Well, after what happened, yeah. But we'll get on to that.
Yeah,
we'll get on to that. Right, practice. I'll just run through practice and quali quick. FP1, everyone was coming off at turn 1 and going into the what do you call it? More of the street, off the track, which was, don't really know why people were gauging that. Hamilton constantly complaining that the bouncing. Thought we'd sorted that, but then it is a street track. Setup changes didn't really help. FP2, Ricciardo smashes his car to smithereens near the swimming pool chicane. He's. Let's touch on it now. I think he's.
I was going to mention this as well, and I thought that's where he was going when you brought it up, because he wasn't happy with how the bloody radio chat went was either, because it was literally he crashed, and then his radio engineer just went, "Is the car all right?"
Yes.
And Ricardo's response was,
I read about it.
Yeah, and Ricardo's response was just like, "Yeah, I'm fine, thanks."
Yeah.
And then
there's something going on there. Something seriously going on at McLaren and Ricciardo.
Yeah.
I think Zach Brown's comments in the week really didn't help out, saying that there's an optional get out at the end of the season. I think I was reading today, maybe going to be sacked.
I hope not.
Because of performances.
I don't think that's fair for him to get sacked. No. I think he might. I think he might retire and leave F1, but I don't think it's fair if he gets sacked.
He did this at Renault.
It's just not going right, is it? I don't know. I don't really know what. You can't really put it down to confidence. You can't really. Is it just an accumulation of everything?
Confidence in the car. You think back to when he was at his best at Red Bull. What did he do week in, week out with that car? He braked later than everybody. He had confidence to slam the brakes on. He was the last of the late breakers, slam the brakes on. By some of the moves he pulled off in that Red Bull were class. And when he was at Renault, it took him a while to get through, didn't it? And there was this same talk again. Daniel's struggling. Second half of the season, he got confidence in the brakes, and it was back to near old Ricciardo. Give him. It's a brand new car. I think he's a driver that just can't drive a car like that. He's got to. And unfortunately, as we've said with other teams in Formula One, that car's built for Lando, not Daniel.
Probably.
He needs to be a team leader, doesn't he? He needs to be a team leader somewhere, and unfortunately...
This is where I think it's gone wrong. I think Lando's coming in as the young lad. He's the experienced driver. And I just feel like there's been a bit of a... I don't know, Drive to Survive kind of showed this. I don't know if it was for theatrical effect or not, but I thought Lando would be like looking up to him. But Lando's like kind of got this, and I don't like it, this arrogant attitude of, what comes across to me as arrogant. It's like, I'm the better driver, let me show you. And I thought it'd be like completely the opposite way around. Like, I thought it'd be like, I'll try my best, like quite humble, more like laid back and looking up to Ricciardo. But because he seems to be just doing better than Ricciardo, it seems like the whole McLaren is just diverting its attention to Lando and thinking, well, hey, Ricciardo, you should be the guy that's running the show here. You're supposed to be an experienced driver. You're not performing. So he's getting even more heat and even more pressure. And it's not helping.
Haven't we seen this with McLaren before? With a young driver, an experienced driver that the young driver should look up to, and the young driver smashes him. I seem to remember it somewhere before. I can't think where.
Could it be a Lewis?
I don't want to know it all, son. I mean, you know.
God, you're annoying.
I'm only a casual fan of F1, so I mean, in my very recollection, yes, I think it was Lewis Hamilton. You know,
it was.
Thank you for confirming, though, man.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So let's see where he ends up. I hope he finishes the season, and if it's not,
he'll finish it.
If it's not with McLaren, I hope. Well, at the end of the season, I hope he continues driving. Excuse me, because I think he's a good guy. But that's what Sky was saying. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a laugh. He's a nice. But if he's not doing it on the track, then where is his place? And I was like, I get it, but something's not right there. No. Anyway, moving on. FP3, Perez quickest, only just though. And we got the congestion, which Yuki Tsunoda found out. Vettel nearly found out as well in the back of somebody. And on the radio, off the back of that, said he nearly shit himself there, which I can understand. I can understand on that comment.
Tony, it's okay. It's not your fault.
Well, this
it's not your fault, Tony.
This was a bit of a theme this weekend because in the race,
why did you shit yourself as well, man?
No, we're not all you.
Okay.
I've said his name and you've ruined it. I'm now going to have to learn it again. Juan Zhou Yu nailed it.
Oh,
that's not right, is it?
He nearly lost.
Zhou Guan Yu.
Zhou Guan Yu.
It's Zhou Guan Yu. Zhou Guan Yu.
No,
hang on. Tony. It's all right. Mark was wrong.
I was wrong. I apologise. Yeah.
That's right.
Let's just leave it there.
Bastard.
Zhou Guan Yu. He nearly lost it in the rain, and his comment was, "I need new pants after that." And immediately, I thought about the host of the podcast this week.
Absolutely, again.
Maybe they both listen. Maybe that's why they both said it on the radio. It was a shout out to T-Dog.
Maybe we need like a bingo.
We nearly did. Nearly.
I can just see it now in about 2 years' time or something when like Zhou Guan Yu actually goes and wins a Formula One race and he's driving around holding up the flag and that, but there's like a big smear on it and like a note saying this one's for you, T-Dog.
I followed through.
We did this together.
I'm not going to take that any further. You could take that as far as you want. But I just can't. It's just, yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, Beth. Again, we apologize.
Should we move on to qualifying? Let's move on to qualifying. It's all right. Yeah. Let's move on.
Moved on.
Red. I've got red flag. Yuki, left front puncher. Joe Guan Yu was 20, 19 Latifi, Stroll 18. And I've already alluded to his fantastic onboard kickoff. Please go and listen to that on any platform that you can. So funny. 17 Gasly, 16 Albon. Q2, yeah, take it as you will. Nothing really happened. Q1, Perez crashed. Sainz hit him, and that was game over. And Leclerc 1, Sainz 2, Perez 3, Max 4, Norris 5, Russell 6, Alonso 7, Lewis 8, Vettel 9, Ocon 10th. And we all said whoever nails quali is going to win the race, and it didn't happen.
The curse struck again.
Yeah.
We also said that Leclerc is cursed, and he is.
He is. And before
he's got a crash in him, he's got a mistake in him.
Before the red flag, obviously Leclerc was on a bit of a faster lap than Max was, and I was thinking, go on, Max, go on, because I've got you in the predictions. Go on, son. And then the strangest crash, like come around the corner, and there's Sainz like in the barrier, and then Perez in the barrier, and then coming around the corner, Sainz hits him and causes a traffic jam. It was just hilarious.
They just blocked the entire lane, didn't they?
Yeah.
Jumping for joy. I was like, get in. It's going to fucking happen. Tony's predictions coming in. Leclerc's going to win in Monaco in his home race. Curse broken. Boom. Tony hits the front. Fucking, what a weekend this is going to be. And then the race happened eventually. And it was all sadness from there. I just don't get that Ferrari strategy call. I don't understand what was going on. Have they pitted Sainz, and then somebody's just had a brainwave and started shouting at the radio at Leclerc?
They just screwed up, didn't they? It was really funny the amount of times I've watched it as well with the radio thing, because they tell him to box, and he follows Sainz in, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then as soon as he pulls in, then they go, oh, no, stay out.
Yeah.
And when you're watching it off the helmet cam, and he's just effing and blind, and his hands going like that, he's going, fuck. It was almost like you was driving the car, Tony. I'm not going to lie, mate. The amount of F-bombs that was coming out of him, you'd have thought it was you.
Trust me. I was fucking screaming at that fucking telly. And oh my God, if there should have been a camera watching me, because the race started eventually, and I was just like, track position is key, right? That is the fucking goal at Monaco. If you're in front of somebody, even if you've got shit tires on, just keep going, because it's pretty much near impossible to get past. So just fucking play it safe. Don't do any mistakes. And what the fuck happened. And when he was screaming at the radio, I was going batshit crazy. I was literally off the sofa, screaming at the telly. I could not fucking believe it, because he'd already pitted. Like, he'd pitted a lap ago for Inters.
Yeah. That's the first mistake they made as well. They made two mistakes there. They pitted and realised they put the wrong kind of tyres on, and then called him in, and then changed their mind at the last second. But they was really unlucky there as well, because one of the other things I made a note of there was Max didn't have a great pit stop.
No.
His pit stop was like 3.2 seconds.
Because they double stacked as well, didn't they? Red Bull. Yeah.
They were watching what Ferrari were doing, because they knew that their only chance to beat them was the undertake or the overtake. So Ferrari just had to do what you usually do. Just fucking read the weather, read the track, and come in.
They never do. they always get flustered. Like qualifying, I made a note that Leclerc absolutely kicked off to the team about his positioning on the track. They put him in traffic or something, and he was like, I can't do a warm-up, I can't do a warm-up. And then, like you say, in the race, Sainz was like on the radio saying, I'm not going to Inters, I'm going straight to soft tyres or hard tyres, I'm going straight to dry tyres. Not interested. Leclerc is a bit, I don't think he doesn't, we say he's got a mistake in him, and I think he's also not a guy that takes control. If the team say jump,
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
He's not strong enough to say, no, I disagree.
Yeah.
I feel like we'll stay out, where Sainz was like that on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that could be his biggest downfall. That
I completely agree.
He's not, even Max, Lewis, Sainz now, Lando a few years ago when obviously he went off in the rain, what we spoke about before, but Leclerc never seems to take charge, and I think that cost him. And Ferrari were shite, and in with the calls, but Leclerc's he should have read the road. He's out there driving the car. He should have said, "I'm going to stay out," and I think he'd have won the race.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like when they brought as well, coming from your point, when they say when they're pitting him, why is he going in? He's just pitted for Inters a lap or two ago. Why are you telling me to pit again? Why? Like, surely there's something in his mind that goes, well, what are you doing? You've just pitted me. What's going on here? And then, and second of all, why aren't they talking to each other? Sainz got second, didn't he?
Yeah.
Sainz got second. And he's stood on the podium like he's shit himself, to be honest. Because Ferrari have pretty much shit themselves. It's all, why wasn't there any talk? Like, oh, Sainz thinks hard. What do you think? Like, it was obvious that Ferrari wanted Leclerc to win his home GP. Like, so what was going on in that garage? What were the engineers and the strategists doing?
They're never good. They're never good under pressure. How many times have we watched a race and Ferrari have messed up a race call where they're winning?
Yeah,
the flap. They're not like you say. They're not like daring like Red. I'll give Red Bull credit this weekend.
I was about to say this.
I think it's I can't remember the woman's name. They did say on the radio, but their strategy. She's done this a few times now. She pulls an absolute blinder out the bag. Double stacking at Monaco. Ferrari didn't work. Red Bull, yeah, it did.
But how quick were they to make that call as soon as Leclerc double stacked? Yeah, that was fucking skill. That was skill and experience. And Horner, we do slag him off, but he knows what he's doing.
It's not him. It's not him. He's just a pretty boy that talks in front of the camera.
But the mind games he plays. Honestly, some of the things he was saying. What was he saying? What did he say? Checkers in the championship as much as Max. That's a bit what. And he's after quali. It was we're pleased, but it's all about it's all about the Ferraris. Like what? Like some of the whole Red Bull, and this made me think. You create a team or a car to win, but you got to know how to win. And once you know how to win, I think it's much easier. And I think that's what Red Bull have got now, and that's why
this is where I agree. I completely agree with this as well. And you're right. Ferrari are good at a lot of things, but when it comes to actual strategy and stuff like that, they haven't got it. I mean, Mercedes have never been one of the fastest pit stop ever, but they've never needed to rely on the fastest pit stop. They've always been able to go with the strategy and obviously the speed of the car in the last couple of seasons. Like that. Red Bull, they've got some really good strategists and stuff like that as well. But for Ferrari, I think at the moment they're just trying too hard in some areas and not trying enough in others.
Yeah.
And they just need to get that balance. And, yes, they've got a fast car, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've never had a team behind that fast car, have they? They've had fast cars in the past, and they've never made, the good calls. You've never come out of a race and gone, Ferrari have pulled an absolute blander of a pit stop strategy there. I don't think I've ever said that.
No, I can't ever remember ever a time of going, oh yeah, that was, but no.
Speaking of the Red Bull,
pretty much every race.
Go on, James. Sorry,
I was just going to say, if you look at last season, pretty much every race, you'd hear on the radio from Red Bull, especially to Max, it was normally whatever Lewis does here, do the opposite.
Yeah.
And it was always, if Lewis went in, Max would stay out, and vice versa. It was always like that. They knew what to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're good at that.
Did you see the appeal? Did you see the appeal after the race from Ferrari about the Red Bulls crossing the pit stop exit?
That is something I was going to ask. We was talking about the pit stop, and that was the next thing I had on my notes. Did Max cross that line?
Should we save that until after the break? And I think we'll go straight back into that. Yeah, part deux.
Let's do it.
Yeah. See you in a bit.
This one's.
This meeting is being recorded.
So, welcome back, guys, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, to part 2, Straight to the Apex, episode 7, in association with CookieCast. I always fuck that up. Remember, subscribe. You can win an Alexa Bliss Funko if you're within the first 100. So, trust me, you want one of them, definitely. I think we should do a giveaway, though.
Straight and you dropped the F1.
And,
what?
30 seconds into recording and you swear straight away. Bravo.
Yeah. No wonder we've got an E rating.
At least we've got a rating.
Well, yeah, that's true.
What are we going to give away on our podcast? I think we should do a giveaway.
We need to do merch.
Meet and greet with you. Some sand pants. Some of your sand kegs live from the podcast.
Interesting.
No one would want to win that, would they? No one.
I mean, I know there's people that pay money for that, but yeah.
Definitely scraping the barrel.
Yeah.
But hey, any donations, financial, of course, only, are accepted. So.
I've got to ask Tony. Slightly different background there for you. So either you're somewhere else, or Beth has let you out of the dungeon / man cave and let you do the recording in the living room.
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Mark, James, Big J.
Just to let you all aware, that was rehearsed off camera, off recording, and he still got the fucking name wrong. Well done.
All right.
Well done, Dick. Well done, T.
I know how Joe Guan Yu fucking feels now. Listens to this every week going, for fuck's sake, get my name right. And then you go and do mine. I've only known you for like 10 years.
Well,
Dick.
I'm just slightly confused because...
I don't care where he is now. I don't care where he is now, do you?
I'm not at home.
Are you chained to a radiator?
I might as well be.
Should you be like holding up
a
copy of today's newspaper?
Where I am is, well, I've obviously had a week off, haven't I? And we always joke of where you can watch the podcast. And basically, I've took a lot of time out to try and find where the podcast is. And I've looked at a lot of X-rated sites. And let's just say, to cut a long story short, I'm very sore down there. And I'm currently at a self-gratification rehab facility.
I thought you were going to say he was on one of the exclusive sets from Pornhub then.
This is a bit dark for a Formula 1.
Well,
the pizza guy did just walk in as well. This does suddenly sound quite interesting.
I do have treatments tomorrow, but I don't know what they are. I don't know. I could be
you, Tony. Nothing can fix you. So...
I don't know what they could be.
Let's move on. Right, so what was we talking about? Red Bull crossing that pit line. Let's go.
I don't know anymore now. A droid might come in any minute and just get me. I'm not quite sure. But if we're talking F1, thank you. Let me bring it back. I've got really just to finish it off, really, the race. Perez first, Sainz second, Max third, Leclerc fourth, Russell fifth, Norris sixth, Alonso seventh, Hamilton eighth, Bottas ninth, Vettel 10th, Gasly 11th, Ocon 12th, Ricciardo 13th, Stroll 14th, Latifi 15th, that Chinese guy 16th, that Japanese guy 17th, Yuki, 18th, Albon, 19th, Mick Schumacher, and 20th, K-Mag with a DNF. And Mick obviously was a DNF because he broke his car in two again.
I was going to say you just missed out a massive chunk of the race there.
Yeah. Why?
Because we finished off the last part by going, did he cross the line? And then we've gone from that, which happened in lap 30. So straight off, oh yeah, this was the results.
Yeah.
Well, there's only another
if you want to go through the race, just
crash,
quickly,
red flag. Yeah. Hey,
it was boring about that. It was boring, guys. Trust me.
Well, it was.
You've waited an hour for it, and then it was boring anyway. So, yeah,
we've got to at least talk about the Schumacher crash.
Looked really bad. When I saw the pictures of the car, and again, we've said this before, when they don't zoom in or show the car or show the driver, you think something's happened here. And then when there was just the back end of the Haas there, it must be designed to break like that. Because you think
it just broke in half, and I was like, where's the rest of him?
Where's the rest of it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
it is. It's a bit scary. It's a bit scary.
It is scary. But it was all right. It was all right.
I
mean, all the drivers were
the budget's not all right. The budget's not all right.
They're still complaining about it.
Yeah, I think he brought it up again, didn't he?
Yeah.
But he's still the only one talking about it. None of the others are still.
No.
It was a difficult race weekend, I think. Judging by some of the big guys, what they said. Alonso, just some of the post-race interviews. Alonso said it was difficult. Hamilton, grateful he finished.
It's difficult for Alonso, who's driving 3 seconds a lap slower than everybody else. He caused a traffic jam.
Well,
the only time he sped up, and it made me laugh. And we're getting into bloody strategies and stuff like that, and people on the pit wall for Alpine. It took them it must have been about 20 minutes after the race directors and said, you're getting a 5-second penalty for that. It was another 20 minutes before Alpine actually said, Alonso, you might want to speed up a little bit because at this rate, Ocon's not going to finish in points. And at that point, he'd already slowed down that much that there was like a 30 odd second gap. It was just, and all of a sudden he gets the fastest lap and closes the gap down to like 15 seconds. Something stupid. It's like, yeah.
Afterwards, he said, oh, well, I've got a few injuries and stuff from previous races. It was like, right, you're in a race. You don't just take it steady on a Sunday drive. But again, I think that tells you how much shit the Monaco track was on it. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we've got
Vettel was happy to score a point. He finished 10th.
So we've got breaking news. James, we've got breaking news.
Have we?
Right. So, yeah, there's a couple of things I've got. So, obviously, Perez winning, he's now in contention for the World Championship. And we said, I think it was in last week's podcast, was talking about team orders and stuff like that. And Mark, you actually made the point of with Mercedes, until until Bottas was not in contention for a championship, there was no such thing as team order, stuff like that. So that's going to be interesting now to see what Red Bull do. And after the comment that Horner actually made as well, of actually saying, Perez is just as rightly up there as Max is, then yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, Perez has made his new 2-year contract with Red Bull. That was announced today.
Yeah.
But I've got to go to Verstappen moaning.
Senior or junior?
It's senior.
Yeah.
I only saw this about an hour or so back, and I had to take a screenshot to get exactly what he said. But it's pretty much just moaning about what Red Bull did. Here we go. So Red Bull achieved a good result, but at the same time exerted little influence to help Max to the front. That he finished third, he owes to Ferrari's mistake at that second stop of Charles Leclerc. The championship leader, Max, was not helped in that sense by the chosen strategy. It turned completely to Checo's favour. What an absolute dick.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah.
Fucking overprivileged, spoilt little shit or what? Oh, my son had won a race. One race. I'm going to fucking cry about it. Oh, I honestly think. Sorry, I honestly think. I think I'm starting to hate Josh more than Max.
Are you sure it's just not?
I didn't really hear Max. I know Max wasn't really happy with how it was going, but that was obviously because he was stuck, between two Ferraris. So Red Bull didn't even have the option. If there was going to be doing team orders in that race, we'll never know. But if they were going to do it, they didn't have that option, that luxury of that option, because of the Ferrari being in the way.
Mm.
But for Joss to just come out and just full on say, "Oh yeah, they just did that. That wasn't fair on Max." You're a dick. You're an absolute dick. You don't win a race because Daddy says so. You win a race because you did it. You drove the car.
Mm.
And unfortunately for Max, it just it wants to be that race.
If you want your son to win every race, go buy your own team. Worked well for Lawrence Stroll and Lance Stroll.
You beat me to it then.
Know it all strikes again. Thank you.
I mean, is it just being a dad? Is it just?
No. It sounds like dad, and it starts with the same letter. He's being a dick. He's had comments like this before. Dad dick. He's had comments like this before. When Max don't win, he's worse than bloody Max and Christian Horner.
Wow.
I mean, can you imagine that was a football game or, a rugby game or something like that? And at the end of the Liverpool this weekend with Real Madrid, can you imagine at the end of that game, all 11 players' dads came out onto the pitch going, "Oh no, we should have won that. That's just not fair." Like,
yeah, nah, it sounds just a bit. I don't know nothing about Verstappen Senior, but what you've just said there, just sounds completely stupid. Like, discredit. It goes a bit beyond it. It discredits the sport. Like,
he wasn't a very good Formula One driver himself, and what he's done is he's living his Formula One career through his son. So I think in Josh's head, Josh has won that championship last year, not Max. And I think this year, I don't know how many wins Josh got, but I don't think it was many, if any at all. So yeah, it really pissed me off, that comment. Really pissed me off.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's just really weird, that comment. I find it weird. Anyway, anybody else got anything to say about the race?
Nothing about the race, really.
I think we've done it to the end.
I saw Horner chuck Craig Slater from Sky Sports News in the Red Bull pool.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Yeah, exactly what I thought.
So yes or no, was this the last Monaco? for now?
I don't think,
no. Unfortunately, I don't think.
No.
I don't think it'll be the last Monaco.
I think this race will give grounds to one more and then call it a day. I think you can't just say, nah, that's it now. I think they've got to be like, through this, that, and the other, through this investigation and listening to this and taking this into account, this next year will be the last one. Because nobody really enjoyed that.
The drivers love it, though. The drivers love it.
Yeah, but it's prestige. That's it. Prestige. Looking at them cars going around that track, it was almost like comical. Like, how the fuck do they even fit? Like, that last corner is so tight. How? And then in the pits and the paddock, I mean, again, watching Ted's notebook, shout out Ted, it's just crammed. It's like a Miami grid walk. There's people on top of people on top of people.
Well, did you hear how much the ticket?
It's a funny one.
Did you hear how much Did you hear how much the ticket prices was that Ted said? So to be sat on the hill, you don't get a seat. You just get basically a little ledge that you bring your own cushions for. There's no toilet facilities. No, you can't get up and go eat something. It's €100. Anywhere around the track is about £4,500. €4,500.
Yep, sounds about right.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous.
But it's a funny one though, because I say the same every year. It's not a race I enjoy watching. You know, it's not down to drive or anything else like that. It is literally luck of the pits. But then when it comes up to the actual event, and you've seen it on TV, and you've seen all the views and everything else, you're like, I would probably like to go.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a weird one.
Yeah,
it's a really weird one. But
I'd probably like to go not on a race weekend, daft as it sounds. Just go for a trip to Monaco, see Monaco.
Yeah.
And just see the streets where they race around. Forget the actual F1 cars around it. Just go to Monaco. I think that's my feeling. I'd just like to go, but don't have to be Formula One. It'd be nice to be a Formula One weekend, and if any of us are going to get a big yacht in that marina, it's Tony. So remember us too when that happens. But
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
I've already said if I win some money, we're all going. We're all going. We're all picking a track and we're just going. But I think Monaco is probably going to be the steepest, the biggest, deepest pocket is needed
after Miami, by all accounts.
I was going to say Miami or Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, Vegas, yeah.
Vegas. Whoa. Anyway, should we move on?
Should we crack on with the predictions really quickly and then do your quiz? Or what do you want to do the quiz first, then predictions, Tom?
Well, we have got quite a lot to talk about from the predictions for this race, haven't we?
No, not really. Again.
No, I know. I was trying to make it more interesting, but yeah, literally all of us shut out.
Yeah.
Not one of us got a single point.
I was getting towards the end because I thought, is Sainz going to collide with Perez because of his tyres? And then Max is going to win and he's going to take 3. And I'm obviously getting fucked. And then I was thinking if Sainz wins and then Perez is second, then I'll still fuck up. That's why I went crazy when Leclerc pitted for that second time. I was just absolutely, that's it, race gone, done. Tony's league gone.
Oh well, but never mind.
So have we got predictions for this week?
I have. I've written mine down, but you're the host, so you go first. So what's yours?
Well, I was going to do quiz, Baku then.
Right, let's crack on then. Quiz, let's go for it.
Quiz. There's loads of questions. Get ready.
Right.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first as I'm looking.
Oh, Mark's going to go first.
I'll go first.
So,
this is my week.
First 2 questions are about Monaco. You ready?
Right, okay.
How many laps were completed at Monaco this year?
This year?
Racing laps.
Racing lap.
Was it? You've got 3 options. You've got 3 options.
Yep.
70, 68, or 64.
64.
Correct.
Thank you.
James, what is the single lap distance in kilometres? Is it 3 options, 3.3, 3, or 2.7?
3.3.
Can I steal a point? Is that right? Oh, I
That's
thought
correct.
I was wrong. Well done.
Yeah,
We'll just move on.
Okay.
So, this is whoever's closest. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if it's 3.3k, how many lengths of the swimming pool in the middle of the track would be needed to complete a lap? And that's on the swimming pool that is within the track.
The fuck?
How many lengths?
Who wants to go first? Mark, do you want to go first?
Yeah, can do.
Mark is first. Mark is first.
Yeah, I know what you're going to do. I'm going to say something, and you're going to go one below or above. So,
I'd never do that.
I've already called that out already.
Sorry, Mark, but that's the quiz, isn't it? So we can't really.
The fuck up, host. Just calm down.
I'm quiz master. I'm totally impartial.
I won't go one above or below.
All right, 28.
28.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. James?
26.
Right then.
Wasn't one.
They won one though, to be fair.
The correct answer is 67. So fuck knows where you guys were. I don't know what pool you were thinking. It wasn't the marina I was talking about, guys.
I'm sorry,
right?
I'm not a pool expert, Tony. I'm really, I'm disappointed in myself. I don't know every geometric measurement.
Well done, Mark. You got the point there. Thank you very much. Shut the fuck up. Thank you. Who did the fastest lap? Big J, do you want to answer this question? Who did the fastest lap?
Lando Norris.
Correct. Thank you. I've got a. This is fastest first. If you know the answer, you shout your name. If you get it wrong, then it's up. The second person has then got limited time. All right. So who was second in the fastest lap?
James.
Mark.
It was James who answered first. So James, would you like to give me your answer?
I'm gonna go with Alonso.
James, that's incorrect. Mark?
That was going to be my guess. If it want right, okay. So if it want Alonso, Gasly.
Incorrect. It was Yuki.
All right, okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Right. So Baku is next.
Yep.
So I've got questions about this now. How many F1 races has there been in Baku?
Good question.
And it's fastest finger first. Go.
Mark.
I actually thought you were trying to call my bluff.
Mark has got a fucking hell. I don't know what happened there, but it was very entertaining. Mark?
5.
That's correct.
Shit. I was full on. I'm sat there like, I'm not going for this. I'm going to let Mark get it wrong, and then I'll just go for one.
Now, that was tense, that one, actually, to be honest. That was I didn't know if I was fucking up or there was a froze or the internet's cracked. Anyway.
I was doing
staring into the down routine.
I was waiting for you to go. I was thinking, go on, get it wrong, you twat, and then I'll go. And then
So was I.
No, it was it's great entertainment here on Straight to the Apex, episode 7. So this is fastest first.
Okay.
Who holds the fastest lap at Baku?
James.
James.
Valtteri Bottas.
That's incorrect.
Perez.
That is also incorrect. It's Leclerc. Again, fastest first. Can you tell me what year that was set?
Mark. 2018.
That's incorrect.
Ooh.
James.
For the steal.
For the steal. Way up.
See, it's tricky because we know there was 5 races, but I can't know if there was a race there in 2020. I'm going to go with 2019.
It was 2019, baby.
Yeah.
Correct.
Did you hear that, Mark? Did you hear that?
So, Mark.
Go on.
Mark, let's go with this question. There's 4 questions left, and we're 3 all.
You give 3 all. You're probably giving me the hardest questions as well, because you want your mate James to win. But let's go.
If you get this next question wrong, Mark, this next question is geography. So, and there's 3 options, and it's your question, Mark. All right.
Yeah, fine.
What are the tallest buildings in Baku called? Is it the fire columns, the water citadel, or the flame towers?
Do you know this, James?
James is well travelled.
That's
His
why
father-in-law owns a G-Wagon, so James obviously knows this question.
I think A. Let's go A.
So you went with the fire columns. The fire columns is incorrect.
Oh, I knew it would be. Go on.
It's actually the flame towers. But James, can you?
If my question is what colour is Ferrari, I'll be really happy right now.
It's very close. This is a very close question to that, to be honest.
What colour is the Ferrari?
So I said, what are the tallest buildings in Baku called? It's the flame towers, but how many buildings is there? Is there 2, 3, or 4?
3.
That is correct. So there's 3 flame towers. Right then, this is a last question, but then we've got a question after that. So this first question, the first part of the final. Stop, Mark, you're losing. Okay, there's no need to get angry or anything like that.
This is the last question, and then after this, there's another one.
This is the last question, but there's one more after it. I mean,
I'm just so tense, guys. Like it's getting late.
Okay.
Mark's losing.
It's all exciting for you. I guess.
Very exciting times.
Yeah.
So,
go on.
This is the last question, but this is the first part to the last question.
Right. Okay.
All right. And it's fastest finger first again. All right.
Right. Okay.
We've got to be clear with this because
all right,
James,
let's go.
If there's anything, he'll fucking tag it, won't he? In 2016, who set an unofficial record for the highest ever speed recorded on an F1 car?
Mark.
Joe, Mark?
I'm going to go Lewis Hamilton.
That's incorrect.
Well, I thought it would be.
James, have you got the unofficial fastest lap? I'm going to go with
No. It's in 2016. Who set an unofficial record for the highest ever speed recorded in an F1 car? Very tense here. Very tense.
Because I'm there's part of me thinking it's not someone who was actually racing that season. And there's part of me that wants to kind of say Mark Webber or something, but no, I'm going to go with Valtteri Bottas again. I just like that name at the moment, clearly. You're going to say it was Mark Webber now, aren't you?
James, the right answer was Valtteri Bottas. And you are the winner of Straight to the Apex, episode 7.
We can't play music, but right now I've got like Martine McCutcheon running through my head. She's not singing the song. She's just there.
It's a bullshit.
So it's 5-3. It's 5-3. Obviously, there's a second part to this question.
This is my perfect moment.
So for the last part,
the song's available.
Whoever's closest wins. So we all know it was Valtteri Bottas,
right?
But how quick was he? What was the highest speed recorded? Mark, because you're losing and you've lost.
That's fucking point then.
Because I feel real sorry for you.
I don't want to play anymore.
First. Well, you might be able to play. You can either claim it back to just a slight loss, or you can lose this point and get absolutely obliterated.
All right, 232 mile an hour.
232.
Yeah.
Miles an hour. James, this is for pride, buddy. Take your time.
I'm going to make the dick move. 233.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh no, do it. Do it. Definitely do it. It's up to you. So whatever you do, it's up to you. You can do whatever you want.
You just said it, 233, so come on. We've got stuff to get on with.
So 233.
Bullshit quiz. And what was it?
And the actual answer was 230. 4.9. So James again. You won again.
Oh, I'd like to thank my family.
If I was you, what was that? Terrible.
Do you know what?
Anyway,
I'm the host of the next one, so the quiz is going to be: what's James's auntie's grandma's date of birth? Oh, James wins. Right. What's the next question?
I don't even know that.
I'll tell you the answer. Bullshit. Absolute.
They were
bullshit.
Fair questions, Mark.
What a load of bollocks.
Okay.
That was the worst quiz I've ever done. It was
it's all right.
It was rubbish.
You don't have to know everything.
No,
you can
it
just
was
be
rubbish.
A fan.
No, it was
it's
rubbish.
Okay.
It's terrible. What an awful quiz. Sorry, viewers and listeners. That to put you through that shitty quiz.
We are the champions, my friend.
Well,
anyway, let's do predictions. What you got predicting for this?
Whoa! Before we get to predictions, it's Baku, 10th of June to the 12th. 51 laps, 20 corners. It's 6K a lap. There's yet to be a repeat winner, so think about that with your picks. Perez and Vettel have finished 3 times on the podium. Last year was entertaining because Max was winning and crashed, and Lewis, on the restart of the red flag, fucked up. And you could pinpoint that as the fuck up for the season. But last year it was Perez first winning Red Bull, second Vettel, third Gasly. And it has the longest straight, hence the high speed, 2K. This is 2K straight, sorry. From turn 16 to 17. So hit me with your prediction. Oh, now I've got to go first. I'll go first for you guys.
You go
Max first, Leclerc second, Perez third.
Interesting.
Okay.
Who wants to go next?
let the winner of the quiz go next. Because,
James, hit me.
I was going to say, I think that's what we should do. I've got Max first, Perez second, and Leclerc third.
Sexy. I like it. Go on then, Mark.
I've got Verstappen first. Perez second.
Are you going to pick the same as Tony?
No, dickhead. I'm not an a-hole like that.
No, don't do that, James. Jesus Christ. Don't piss him off anymore. Fucking hell.
So Verstappen first, Perez second, and George Russell third.
Oh. Mark.
Oh, that's not bad.
He could get three very good predictions.
I hope they're right, because I tell you what, next podcast, if they're fucking right, all three of them, it's going to be hell for you two. Believe me.
He's finished every race in the top 5.
Yep. I'm lining up some shit after that shit show this week. I am absolutely lining some shit up. I am raging. Absolutely raging. But hey, never mind.
Well, it's been an eventful podcast again, number 7. Subscribe, comment, share, like, subscribe. You can win a Alexa Bliss Funko if you're within the first 100 subscribers. So go do that. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and thank you. That's all I can say. Keep listening. Anything to add, guys?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because I'm just pissed off. What a stupid podcast.
Well, and there's 1 minute 15 seconds left of this, so I'm going to enjoy this victory a little bit more while I can. In all honesty, guys, no. Thanks for listening, like T-Dog just said. Keep an eye out for us. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Where I'll be gloating about my victory a little bit more.
Congratulations, James. Well done. You deserve it.
Just you wait. Until next time. Bye-bye.
See you later.
So there we go. What do you think of that? Big thank you to Mark, James and Tony for bringing us all the fresh, hot Formula 1 news, reviews of the races and previews of the upcoming races. And you can show them how much you love their podcast by like, share, subscribe and comment. If you've got spare time and you feel generous, you can leave us a review. Lets these guys know how much you love their podcast. If you want to get in touch in any way, you can go to thecookiecast.com, which is our website. There we've got some social media links, and there's a button you can click to send us an email. Let us know what you think to the podcast. Let us know what you think to all the podcasts, or just generally say hi. There we go. That's it for this one. Until next time, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then.